Hey guys, it's Trevor Laird here and welcome back to Exscudo Talk, episode number 4. Now this week we have to start out with our contest winner and identifying who won the EON giveaway for this week. Afterwards, we are going to look into the status of all Exscudo products and the marketplace and exchange as well. Then we'll move on to what's happening in the generalized cryptocurrency space. You're noticing a lot of adoption and price increases happening right now, and I'm going to answer you why this is happening. We're going to finalize the episode looking into 4 strategies that you can take in cryptocurrency trading. Maybe you want to trade cryptocurrency, but you just don't know how. I'm going to show you from a short-term strategy to a long-term strategy, 4 ones that you can try right away. So let's not delay and let's get started. Now it's time for my favorite part of the week, the EON giveaway. So does your EON address end in VEEFU? Well, if it does, take a look in your channels app now because I have sent you $10 Canadian worth of EON this morning at market rate, and it should be in your account now. So congratulations. And just a reminder to everyone else out there that yes, you can only put 1 comment per week for the draw, but you can enter every single week. There's no limitation on that. So make sure to put your EON address in the comments below, and you could be randomly selected next week for $10 worth of EON. And yes, we're doing that every single week. Now moving over to the Exscudo status page. We're looking at the entire ecosystem right now, and as you can see on the status board behind me, the exchange is currently down, okay? So if you try to load the exchange right now, you will see a couple of pairs, you'll see a ton of stuff missing, you won't see the volume, you'll see many things are wrong, okay? This is absolutely normal. This is because they are doing a rolling update of the Exscudo services, and as you can see, all of those web cabinets kind of all the way down are part of the planned maintenance. Now, if you're wondering, why didn't I know that this maintenance was coming? If you do go on the Exscudo Discord server, you are able to see those announcements for planned maintenance, and as well, we will report them as we know them on here every single week. So yes, we do have planned maintenance that's happening right now, and that's definitely going to affect our market news. So let's get moving over there right now. Now, looking on the Exscudo Marketplace screen behind me, things might seem a little bit dire. It looks like we only had $100,000 worth of volume over this last week. Don't worry, guys, this is not true at all. Like I said before, the status of the Exscudo exchange is a rolling planned update that's affecting the entire exchange. All displays, web cabinets, everything is currently down. So even though you can see the exchange behind me here, this is not an accurate portrayal of what's going on. Now, of course, I look at the exchange every single day to see what's happening, and we were trending to hit about $250,000 USD again in trading volume over the last 7 days. Now, of course, BTC pairs are still up there at the top. And if you are curious for an accurate price of EON this week, we were trading, if you actually compared across the board, so we had about 3 cents US, 3 cents Euro sitting there on that. But if you took the actual average of what we were looking at on the last 7 days for the BTC pairs, you would be pricing us a little bit higher. So around 3.5 cents USD for each EON, and that's about a ½ cent increase, and that's based on the average of what it was trading at, and of course the increased price of BTC this week. So yeah, 3.5 cents is a fair rate for EON as per trading over the last 7 days. So this week we had to stop and take a look at the global cryptocurrency space because a lot is going on right now and it cannot be ignored. Now, as you'll see on the charts behind me, thanks to coin360.com for presenting that graphic. But as you'll see, there's a lot of green across the board, and we've had some really good increases for our core cryptocurrency, BTC, being the oldest, being the daddy. It does represent the entire space as we go forward. So this has tapped off of $10,000 USD a couple times this week and seems to have a very strong trend towards an increase. Now, we were expecting this, guys. So COVID has definitely had a major impact on the entire cryptocurrency space. Now look at EON, for example. We were trending to get a really good increase in price, plus the exchange was having over $2 million at one point per 7 days being traded, and then the cryptocurrency space came to a halt. And even after the halving of BTC, which is a big thing that happens every year, it means the supply of that cryptocurrency becomes less and less every 4 years, this should have a major effect on the entire cryptocurrency space, but everything was a dead stall afterwards, even dipping. It's been a very crazy time, very unprecedented, but as you can see behind me, people are starting to get their confidence in the markets back. And even more interesting, people are finally realizing how incredibly volatile the stock and equity market is, and that maybe cryptocurrency should be an excellent hedge within their investment portfolios. So I think this increase for BTC is probably going to keep going. I think we're really going to push up to the $14,000 USD per BTC range, just based off the fact that the miners are going to need to have a substantial increase on price to maintain the mining operations that are currently going on. And that pressure does carry forward to other cryptocurrencies. You're going to see Ethereum and XRP and Chainlink seeing some major growth this month. And there's some correction this week, but as an overall trend, these cryptocurrencies are going up really steadily. And what's interesting about those ones in particular is that they all have a fairly established use case, with Chainlink being the most recent one to have any sort of big announcement. But overall, global adoption of cryptocurrency is an important thing. Like we're less than 5% of the world that owns cryptocurrency, so there's a long way to go. And with each increase in value of a cryptocurrency, increases trust of the whole ecosystem. And even for a project like ours, which is fairly new and getting established, this can have a very positive effect. Now, ending the episode, we are going to talk about cryptocurrency trading, okay? This is a very open space, and I know a lot of you out there maybe own cryptocurrency, but just it seems really, really risky to trade that cryptocurrency to try to make money that way. I mean, 90% of day traders in equities fail. So that's got to say something, right? But there are ways that you can mitigate this risk. I know that to many of you out there, that you think about like the idea of maybe walking into a casino and looking around and being like, oh, how do I do this? Okay. But trading is not like gambling, okay? Because you're going by the actual growth potential, whereas gambling is just a fixed term odds between a banker and a player, okay? This is not how this works in the equities market or the cryptocurrency space at all. The key here, guys, is really following a strategy and sticking to it. But you may ask, I don't have a strategy. How do I get started? Well, I'm going to introduce you right now to 4 strategies that can really help you out at any level to get started. Now, the first option is day trading. This is the shortest term, but in general, to day trade, you need to have a good amount of the asset, and it does have to be volatile. For an example, we'll talk about BTC options. You could trade to BTC options all day. They have heavy volatility throughout the day, and you are able to go up and down with trading them. The whole idea here is to look for the low and high points within a very small period of time. This can be a 15-minute candle, a 20-minute candle, and follow through with that, buying at the low point and selling. So in order to kind of base this, you have to use a little bit of technical analysis to look through the day and see what the trends are just for that day, and to see if there is any predictable pattern. If there is even a minor one, which a lot of time in BTC options there are, you can follow that pattern right and trade. It's best to start very, very small and not change your trading pattern at all. So if you start saying, I'm going to start at this price and then sell at this price, stick with that the whole day and see your result, because that's the only way to determine if your strategy is working. Another important thing to note with day trading is that when you do initiate a trade, you very much need to set a stop loss, and this will mitigate your risk and maximize your potential gains. Now, scalping is an available option as well. It's not one that I prefer because I feel it's slightly too non-predictable within the cryptocurrency space. But if you do see a larger ebb and flow pattern happening over the course of an entire day, whereas think about what we talked about before with day trading, this is very small windows, talking 10 to 15 minute, even down to 1 minute candles, very, very short trends. Whereas scalping, you're going to increase your trend line a little bit and start looking at hours to see those patterns. Now, if you do see a bigger pattern at that point, scalping is possible for you. You'll make multiple trades in the day, but you'll wait a little bit longer term between those trades. Now, the next strategy is swing trading. Now, this can take days to weeks to accomplish a trade, okay? So as you guys see, these different strategies can really stretch out. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, maybe I try all these strategies. Do not do that. Only one at a time, because it's the only way for you to keep focused on your growth. Now, swing trading, what you're going to look for is on a larger period, like a couple of weeks to a month graph, you're going to look for the highest point that cryptocurrency is achieving at every peak as it goes, and the lowest point that it is achieved throughout that week, and then the general trend. So if it's an uptrend going up, you're able to say, okay, the next time it hits close to that low, I'm going to buy there, and then I'm going to wait and sell at the high as it matches closer to that on the trend. If it's trending downwards, that's no problem too. You can short cryptocurrency as well and sell against it. So you're selling, you're basically buying to say that the price is going to go down, and you're shorting that. So you're able to do that and follow those downtrends. But instead of making the low your buy, you make the high your buy and just go down that way. So there's a way to do it in the opposing way as well. But this does take a bit of patience, and you really have to take some time to look at the graphs and see if there is a realistic pattern in the trading behavior happening. Now, the last strategy we're going to talk about is the longest term. It's one I do all the time. It's one I do with EON. It's called position trading, okay? This is where we purchase an asset that we know is on a very large scale uptrend over a very long period of time. This could be months at a time. Now, BTC, I would say buying BTC even 2 weeks ago, or even today, to be honest, it has, it's almost 3% up today. This is a good overall arching term. You have to accept larger swings of volatility, but in the overall, the cryptocurrency will generally increase in price, especially as it deflates over time. This takes, again, not a ton of effort to do. You just have to do your research initially, make the trade, and wait. Now, guys, I have only really scratched the details of what is presented in this article. Please take the time in the description below to click the article and read through. This should give you some great details on strategies to get you started in cryptocurrency trading. And if you really want to talk about it, get into the comments below. I'm happy to talk to you guys, or message me on Discord and we can chat about your strategies and what everyone is doing in essence. I know this can be very confusing, but overall, there are some really basic short to long-term strategies, and some of them are much easier to master than others. But remember, just try one at a time, maybe even start long to short, and go from there based off your experience and your risk appetite. Well, guys, that is it. That is all for the week. I really appreciate you watching. Get that EON address in the comments below, and you will get into that draw for $10 worth of EON at the beginning of next week's episode. Now, I have reached out to the Exscudo team, guys, about the downtime on the exchange. Should be up within a couple of hours, and everything will be back to normal for our video next week. And hopefully we see some nice price increases as that trend line continues for EON. Thanks again, guys. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. For Exscudo Talk, I'm Trevor Laird.